Let's compare two Darth Sidious style lightsaber hilts. On the left we have a Korbanth SID 2.0 hilt kit, and on the right we have a Master Replicas Darth Sidious lightsaber. This is a scaled replica, so it's 0.45 scale, and this is also the dark chrome variant, if you're wondering why the coloring is so radically different between these two hilts. So let's take a little bit of a closer look. Now the Master Replicas one, you guys, is a solid piece. So you can see that at the top, and it's pretty heavy, even though it's just this kind of tiny 0.45 scale thing. And the Korbanth one is not solid, it's hollow, so you can do your own installs on this if you want. Now looking at the design, now we notice a pretty big difference right at the top. So well, first of all, I guess I should say, this one is closed off on the top, the Master Replicas one is, and this hollow one from Korbanth is not, so you would probably want to complete the look with a Darth Sidious style lightsaber blade plug. But now moving down, so in the emitter area, you can tell it's much more narrow, kind of toward the top of this Master Replicas one versus here. The diameter is almost the same as this rim on the top for the Korbanth SID 2.0, and the diameter of the section below this top ring is quite a bit more narrow on the Master Replicas one. And then below that you have this sort of conical portion, and the angle is slightly different on these two. Okay, below that we have sort of a series of rings, and both of them have 4 rings, it looks like. So that part's quite similar. Below that, let's see, we have this section that is not a uniform kind of length to it. So you can see this is the shortest part of that ring, and then it gets a little wider as you turn it over here. So these are both similar that way. It's kind of interesting, like you think of lightsabers, well, at least certain lightsabers having a lot of symmetry, and this specific Sidious design has kind of some asymmetric elements to it. I'm sure that's intentional. Okay, so below that is the button. There are 2 buttons actually, one here, one here. That's pretty much the same on these 2 sabers. This is the hilt kit, so these buttons I have kind of separate over here. That's a close-up on the button that would be installed there. And then you have these sort of ridges, or I don't know, gills almost. They're just little indentations in the hilt right here. And it's a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, barely 5. Yep, they're both the same number. That part is quite similar. And then moving down to the kind of base of the saber. Here's what that looks like. They both have a pretty close kind of oval section here. Finally on the bottom, that's quite different. I mean, this Korbanth one will be used by some people as a sound saber, so it does have the sound holes there. This solid kind of collector's piece from Master Replicas doesn't have that, it doesn't need it. There are also kind of some screws, it looks like, on the bottom of the Master Replicas one, and there's not on the Korbanth one. And then over here, this is sort of a, I don't know, cover tech wheel type of thing. That's what that looks like side by side. And just the shape of this dome portion is also a little bit different. This is kind of, I don't know, more of a dome, and this one here is kind of more misshapen, if you can see that. Looks almost more like, I don't know, a finger or like lipstick. Sideways lipstick. And this one looks more like, I don't know, a dome of a building, at least to me. At any rate, that about does it, you guys. So it's always kind of fun to compare these lightsabers, and you'll notice some kind of, well, you'll notice some radical differences between them, and also just a lot of similarities, but biggest differences I see are at the top right here. The appearance is very different in the emitter area, and also at the bottom. That's the other pretty different part of these two sabers. Let me put them in the same direction. At any rate, so on the left we have a Korbanth 2.0, or Korbanth SID 2.0, I should say. And on the right is a Master Replicas Darth Sidious lightsaber, and this is a scaled 0.45 scale, I should say. And it was a Best Buy exclusive. This dark chrome variant of it was a Best Buy exclusive. So that's just a look at these two hilts.